of. So I find myself in this strange town in the middle of nowhere on the edge of in a cute little guest house on the edge of the desert. Town I've never heard of, and I have no idea what's here, but I have work to do, and you know, while I'm here I might as well stay for a while. So I slept really well last night, and I think this is a good thing for my poor body that has been really put through the ringer with this whole adventure. So I think I might just treat myself, stay here for another night, and then figure out how to get to Yeruham. Well, I'll do that today. But I'll also see if I can find out something to show you guys about this place while I'm here. Okay guys, so today has been mostly a work day. Laundry and work. Fun. But one of the volunteers at the guest house where I'm staying, in that Yeruham place, she offered to bring us out here to see the Great Crater, which is the makhtesh Gadol. And these are not craters that are created by meteorites. These are craters that have been created by erosion. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but I don't really fully know how it works. I think the water has eroded the stone and the sand away, and my original understanding was, I think that somehow the earth has collapsed into the center of the crater. I don't know if that's true or not. I really should do more research before I do these things, but I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of the desert. Anyways, so what you see behind me here is all that area down there is the makhtesh Gadol. We're on the outer rim of it on the west side, and over there, that ridge that you see is the east ridge of the crater, and that is actually called the Karbolet. That is where I should have been hiking today if I had kept up with my group and my schedule. And like I said yesterday, it's really a disappointment to me that I am not going to hike that, just because I wanted to experience it, wanted to see what the fuss was all about. I didn't want to, it's not because I had anything to prove or because it's the hardest part of the trail or anything. I just wanted to experience that. I've seen pictures of it and I think it's really cool. So it's kind of a disappointment that I don't get to do it this time, but I think it doesn't mean that I can't come back and do it another time. So definitely going to look into that, and also maybe filling in some of the other holes that I've left behind, which I can do, but planning them better, and then probably do them like without bringing my pack, so I can make it a little bit easier on myself. But for right now, we're just out here to enjoy the sunset over there. Not quite time for sunset yet. It's unfortunately a bit of a hazy day, so you can't really see normally you'd be able to see the mountains of Jordan over there, and this is the golden hour that they call it, what I was trying to capture when we were in Arad, and just the glow of the setting sun on the western slopes of the mountains over there. But it's still awesome to be here and to see the makhtesh. There are 3 or 4 famous craters like this in Israel, and I was reading from the sign as we got up here that they're a geological formation unique to the Negev and the Sinai. And maybe I can try to figure out how they formed and explain that to you when I get back to the guest house. But this is really amazing. The view is just magnificent, like everything else, all the other views I've been showing you. So I'm just gonna let the view just speak for itself, okay? I should also say there's one other thing that I've wanted to talk about today, which is just over the last few days, I've had a bunch of people, including my mom, tell me that they think I'm a really brave woman for what I'm doing here. And so here's the thing. That's never really been the point of this thing. For me, I never set out to prove anything to anybody that I'm particularly brave or anything, and I certainly didn't feel very brave the other night when I was all alone in the middle of that huge night camp that I thought might be a parking lot and didn't know where my hiking buddies who were supposed to be there were. I certainly did not feel very brave. I felt very small and, a little bit scared. And just determined that I had to figure the situation out regardless of what happened. So that really wasn't the point. The point of doing this whole thing for me has always been about taking some time for myself to kind of contemplate my life and my future and celebrate my birthday. 50 years is a big thing. I wanted to do something big. And to show support to the people of Israel, and also to show a different side to Israel than what we see in the news every day. I wanted to show a different way of seeing Israel, both literally and figuratively. You know, you don't have to come and take the tour bus to the usual sites. You can come and really experience the land in a very hands-on, or should I say feet-on way, and just really get a whole different kind of experience than what you would normally get for being a tourist. So that's really always been my goal. Those, I guess, 4 things, maybe a couple of others that I'm just not thinking of right now. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. I just don't really feel particularly brave. I've just decided to do something that I thought I would enjoy or remember for the rest of my life. And once I decided to do it, then I'm just trying to find every way that I can to actually make it happen. So, brave, I don't know. I don't know that matters, because really what matters is that Israel is a gorgeous place. It's gorgeous scenery, gorgeous places, deep in history, and just beautiful, kind, loving, and friendly, really helpful people. And that's really what matters. Hey everyone, just thought I'd come outside to say goodnight. Actually, the nights are getting much cooler in the desert now, and noticed that the other night at the night camp. I've been wearing my sleeping bag as a quilt, and the breeze was getting in underneath through the night, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't sleep too well. So, looks like I'm gonna have to start actually getting into my sleeping bag from now on. But that's okay. Otherwise, it's just perfect for the conditions. And yeah, the other thing that I wanted to mention, what I said back at the crater about how those craters are formed. Okay, really, it truly is like a pure water and river and ocean erosion crater, according to Wikipedia. So it must be true, right? Nothing as dramatic as any kind of ground collapsing because of erosion underground, which I don't know. I guess I thought it might have something to do with. It sort of seems like it, like the way when you make bread and you make dough and then you punch down the dough and it just kind of collapses the whole dough. That's sort of what I thought it might be, that, that air bubble underneath the dough, the air bubble underneath the hill collapsed and created this crater. But no, that's not it. Nothing that dramatic at all. It's just literally the earth, like the sand and the rock on top, was softer than the rock underneath, so water and rivers and stuff has just eroded it, so that you have these craters in the middle of the Negev and the Sinai deserts. And this one that we saw today, makhtesh Gadol, so the large crater, even though it's not the largest, it's the second largest. They're pretty large, and we're going to see another one in Mitzpe Ramon. And that one's like, I think it was 40 kilometers by 10 kilometers wide or something. And they're pretty awesome, and very awesome if you have to climb through them, over them, and walk through them and out the other side. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to head down to Mitzpe Ramon, which is where I was trying to get to yesterday. And I've had some trouble because Shabbat is coming up. And so I wasn't able to get a place to stay for the next 3 nights, which is really what I need. So I got a place to stay for tomorrow night, and then I'm going to have to spend some time tomorrow and the day after finding a place to stay for Shabbat, and the following night, which I wasn't counting on looking forward to. It's going to be some extra time that I really could use for other things, but that's what happened now, so that's what I'm going to have to do. But Mitzpe Ramon is supposed to be a really awesome, really interesting place. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time there and sharing it with you guys. And then after that, we head back out on the trail for the last 2 weeks. I can't believe it's come to this. And somehow we're going to make it. Even if we can't do all of it, we are going to make those last 2 weeks. And we're going to get to Eilat. Yes. But right now, I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. I haven't done that much physically, but we did have to climb up barely at all to the little overlook over the makhtesh Gadol. But for having all the climbing I've done, it seemed like that was probably the biggest mountain I've ever done, even though it was tiny, a little tiny hill. So clearly my muscles are still trying to recover, and so good to be taking a couple more days off in Mitzpe. Looking forward to the next 2 weeks, and otherwise, Laila Tov.